Hey everybody, Brant here with Nutrition First Coaching. I hope the running's going well and that you had a good week, even with our little snowstorm. But what I want to talk about this week is setting yourself up for success. Now, nutrition is vital. It's probably the most important thing when it comes to performance in our running, when it comes to our overall health. I mean, let's face it, food is medicine and it makes up every cell of our body. It communicates with every cell in our body. It's information for how our body runs and works. So today we're going to talk about getting set up to be successful, because if we can plan well, then we can set ourselves up to just have to execute the plan and be really healthy, eat healthy, and be successful. So the first thing we're going to talk about is check your calendar. So let's take a typical week in your life here. You look at the calendar, you have a meeting on this day, the kids have to get here for this day, you have your run training on these days, and you got a couple of weight sessions built in. So you can kind of lay all that stuff out. You can plot it out on the week, and then you can see, okay, where am I going to be the busiest? Where do I need to plan ahead to have some food on the go, or to come home and have something ready to eat? You know, this is a simple sit down, look at the week for 10 to 15 minutes, plan it all out. I like a written planner. Look at my written planner. It's all planned out in there. Then you can go to step number 2. Step number 2 is going to be, let's make a menu for the week. So talk to your family members or anybody else that's going to be involved in these meals, see what they want to eat. And then you can decide, like, okay, on this day, we're going to do meatloaf with a side of veggies and we'll have some rice with it. And then on this day, we're going to do chicken salsa and we're going to make that into 2 or 3 different meals, because we can use that chicken salsa for tacos, or we can use it for taco salads, or we can use it just as a side of a protein. But look at the week and set up a menu for that week. Now, the next step is going to be trying to shop for your food. So this is where things have gotten interesting in the last year, depending on if you want to go to the grocery store, but also how much everything's evolved in terms of getting your foods. We order most of our foods. We either order them and they deliver to our house through Amazon or another food delivery service. You can also order your groceries and then just go pick them up and they bring them out to you. That's very little exposure. And what I really like about those 2 options is you're only going to get what you want and what you look at when you're ordering it, versus being in a store and having some of those impulse buys and getting some things you don't want. Plus, it's really time saving. You can be sitting on the couch at 9 o'clock at night, order all your groceries, pick them up the next day at 5 and bring them home. And maybe that didn't even take you more than 20 to 30 minutes to do, and you don't even actually have to go in the store. So I'm a big fan of trying to order your groceries, trying to get the staples on a regular basis and getting the fresh stuff when you need it. You could even order 2 times a week if you want to get your fresh stuff, and you just swing by and pick it up. However you do it, have a plan going into it, because you have your menu laid out. Now you just got to shop for the foods you're going to need for that menu. Well, step number 4 is definitely a critical one. So now we're going to bring those foods home or get them when they're delivered, and we're going to prepare those foods. So we're going to do a bunch of prepping, and then we're going to organize all our foods. The prepping side of that goes with chopping some stuff up, being time efficient. Now you can cook some proteins, and while they're cooking, you're chopping up veggies. You get some of those chopped up, and then you're going to bake some of those veggies, and maybe while you're making a side that's on the stove, in maybe an hour and a half or 2 hours, you've gotten a bunch of proteins prepared. You got veggies for at least several days, and then you got several sides made too, that you can kind of piece all these meals together, kind of this modular cooking method. The second part of that is organizing those meals. So now you can use a variety of different containers. I'm a big fan of a glass Snapware, because you can see what's in it, and you can just take the lid off, warm it up in the glass, and you're not getting any extra chemicals or plastics from that. So get your containers out, piece these meals together. Maybe it's baggies full of different cut up veggies or snack type of things, some rolled up lunch meat and veggies in a bag, and that's a good balanced snack for you. But have it all prepared. Have it in front of your face when you open the fridge or when you open the pantry. And that way you're like, oh, here's what I need. I'm hungry, I'm going to get this, versus, opening up the fridge. I got to cut these things up. I got to put them together. I'll just have some chips because that's way easier. So, try to think ahead so that when you are hungry and things go crazy during the week, which they probably will, you already have those things organized and ready to go. Those are some good tips for planning and preparing, things that my clients find useful all the time. And some of those things that, again, like a lot of things in nutrition, we know, but putting them into practice is always a little more challenging. If you want some help putting all these things into practice, get a hold of us. We do a free discovery phone call just to find out what your needs are and if we can help you. And the other thing, if you want a little more detail on all this stuff, go to our website. I did a blog on this back in December. I think it was about December 20th. And it gives you specific examples. It even gives you a little sample meal plan in there. You can look that stuff up and get a little bit more detail with it. But let's set ourselves up for success and let's plan to be successful. I'll see you next week.